Welcome to First Issues. Most job seekers will tell you how difficult it is to land employment opportunities in this highly competitive job market of today. Recruiters will tell you your CV is your advocate when you're not in the room to make your case as to why you are the best fit for the job you are applying for, and so it has to be noteworthy. It has to make the recruiter want to meet you and see the magnificent person that the CV is portraying, to hear their story one-on-one. With their vast experience and impressive qualifications, being shortlisted can still prove impossible, which then begs the question, what could be the issue? The answer to that may be quite simple: the curriculum vitae, otherwise known as a CV. So how do you make sure that your CV speaks for you in high regard and makes the recruiter want to meet you in person? Percy Pule, a human resources business partner, is here to enlighten us about just that. Percy, thank you so much for coming on First Issues and affording us your time. We're here today to talk about crafting a winning CV. We all know a lot of job seekers, whether it's a first-time job seeker or it's somebody who's already employed but looking for new opportunities. Let us start here first. What is a CV?
Okay, thank you so much for having me. What is a CV? A CV, obviously, we call it a curriculum vitae. Others will say it's a resume. So ideally, it is a catalog of a candidate or a brochure. So which really is a document which just profile a candidate. So it is a document which profile the candidate, which shows their skills, the qualification, and even the roles that is undertaking.
Well, in job seeking, you would find that, a job description will say this is what we're looking for, and then somebody would align that with their CV as far as their experience and their qualifications, as far as their educational background. But then that is not enough to get you the job. Let us understand then why. What is it about not just having the experience and the educational background that's something that's going to win you a job?
Okay, good. Those are not enough. Remember that on the job, there's these skills that are required. Also, we'll find that on the CV, the language that someone is using, it should be visible enough for us. On the CV as well, there is a portion where you get to even maybe outline your achievements. Those achievements are good enough to sell someone to know that, okay, no, he has achieved these targets. He should be able to maybe even achieve those targets as well once we have this person on board. So the qualification and just the experience are not enough. There's so much more. The behavior, we have to portray that. The language that someone possesses, and the skills, even the hobby, we may maybe take it for granted. The hobby are also important for us to know the kind of person that will be employing as well.
Let us talk about the negating and removing some of the roles that you have played in, whether professional but employment life, right? If you were to remove something from your CV and then there's that gap, how do you address it to HR or a recruiter? Does it matter actually to have gaps within your CV where it seems like there was no employment? What does it say to a recruiter?
Yeah, so the gaps differ. You find that there are some instances whereby someone would have a gap because he's going to maybe study. There are some gaps where someone may be left because of medical grounds. There are some gaps whereby someone maybe was dismissed. So they really differ, and as an employer, I have to be mindful and maybe look forward to knowing more about these gaps. The gap doesn't really matter, but the issue is where you are now. Are you going to be able to give us value? That's what matters. The gap doesn't really matter, but the kind of attitude and the experience that we have acquired before can they be of value to us at the moment? Yeah, that's what matters.
Do you have anything else that you'd like to add that you feel maybe we've left out during our conversation?
One of the key things I think that is always asked would be the issues surrounding the references. If at all you have to put on the reference or not, you can put on the reference. At times you can just say that the references are available on request. That is good enough. Yeah, so now having indicated that the references are available on request, so the employer, if you're told maybe you were successful during the screening, the employer will then, when that time comes, then request the reference from you, where you will then give the details of the referees who you feel that they will be, or they have managed to work with you well enough to inform the prospective employer about you. Well, the prospective employer will want to know more about, to confirm what's in the CV, to get to know more about maybe even your personality. There are some instances whereby some employees would leave, maybe they were dismissed and they had that. So during those references, then we get to have more clarity about your candidate.